Good morning, St. Francis, and good morning, people of God. It is Thursday, the 23rd day of February, 2023, Thursday after Ash Wednesday. And that's all that it is. It is Thursday after Ash Wednesday. Coming to you from Memorial Garden today, again, looking lovely as always, and again, with this ridiculous early summer weather that we're having here in the Carolinas, which will change Friday into Saturday. So we'll be back into winter then. But it is kind of nice, right? And there's a breeze, so it isn't that oppressively hot, but it will be in the 80s today for some strange reason. But it is Thursday after Ash Wednesday. It is Lent and yet not Lent. It is not a counting day of Lent if you want your 40 days. Setting the record straight. Again, there are so many things that I've seen on social media which basically are trying to say that there are 46 days, 44 days of Lent, that Lent doesn't count Sundays. Again, if it's a Sunday of Lent, the first Sunday of Lent, then it is of Lent. It means it would just be a Sunday outside Lent. It does, again, people's preoccupations with 40 and numbers and whatever it is. If you want your 40 numbers, just count. Take a calendar out, count from the first Sunday of Lent down to the morning of morning of Holy Thursday. First Sunday of Lent to the morning of Holy Thursday, and there is your 40. Sundays included because they are of Lent, and the days of Holy Week, while they have that designation, are days of Lent. Purple is worn. It's like, again, I don't know, people just aren't thinking at times. But there is this kind of weirdness where, again, this whole idea of giving up stuff means that you can indulge on Sundays. It's like, why bother giving up? Anyway, enough of attention within all this. What does Thursday after Ash Wednesday hold for us? Well, again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday after Ash Wednesday are days in which to acclimate ourselves to the disciplines of Lent. Prayer, fasting, almsgiving, not giving up anything, but giving of ourselves. That's the almsgiving part of it. So we don't give up, but we pray, we fast, and we give of ourselves. If it happens to be money, alms, that's fine, but it's better to give of our heart and of our care and of our compassion and all those other things that make us wonderfully human. So do that. And so today we are thrust into Deuteronomy, where basically after the people of Israel have entered the Holy Land, Moses sets up for them basically an ultimatum. It's either, follow God, who has brought you through all of this, out of slavery into a promised land, or die. Follow God and live, or die. I set before you life and death, God says, through Moses. And basically God says, choose life. Why would you be stupid enough to choose death? And yet so many times we do. So many times we don't trust. So many times we take second guesses about things. So many times we feel as though life is one just big despair after another, and we choose death again and again. God holds out life, and that is what this season is supposed to lead us to, an understanding of what it means to have life, to have it to its fullest, to enjoy this wonderful, glorious creation that God has given to us to build a world out of. And so as God through Moses encourages the people of Israel to choose life, so too are we as we begin this great journey into this glorious season, to be able to remember and to do those things that allow life to flourish within and around us. In the Gospel, Matthew, I think it's Matthew. Jesus predicts the Passion. The Son of Man must suffer, die greatly, and then be raised. But everyone basically just stops at suffer, die. That's it. The be raised is what matters, not just the suffering and the death. But then Jesus, again, as we've heard a couple of weeks ago, tells people to take up their cross and follow him, because that's what it is about. Not suffering for the sake of suffering, but the understanding is that we do not let those things that would stop us from living our lives to its fullest. We do not let those things that stand in the way of our fullness of our humanity from shining forth. We do not let those things that would present themselves as obstacles to allow us to enjoy the wonder and beauty of creation to ever get in the way of God working within us, of us being able to do what God asks us to do. That's the whole idea of taking up a cross. It's not to crucify ourselves on it. Jesus did that once and for all, and basically people did that to Jesus because they couldn't stand what he was saying and who he was. Jesus does not want us to hurt ourselves or to punish ourselves. Jesus wants us to recognize that nothing can stand in the way of God's love for us, that nothing can stand in the way of us becoming what it is that God has created us to be. Nothing can stand in the way of us becoming the witnesses and the vessels of God's work in this world. We have to believe it. We have to understand that we can do this. We have to take up courage and strength and be able to do those things that must be done to bring God's goodness and holiness into this world. And may the Lord give you his peace.